Welcome to Be Boom's podcast. This is Jessica, and this is a special episode because I have a dear friend, Jackie, who is joining me. And the way that we met was very extraordinary. Both our mothers were at an end-stage facility in the Bronx, and Jackie and I came together to navigate that journey that was so challenging, and through that became friends. So, Jackie, I'm so thankful to have you. Today's a special day, isn't it? Or did you want to share?
Today's my mom's 79th birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday, Mom in heaven. God bless you. We love you.
Yes, that's just a special day for me.
Absolutely. How are you celebrating your mama today?
Well, what I did was I light up a candle and I did a Padre Nuestro. And I just remember her, I put it in social media, so everybody can know. That's something special for me and my siblings.
Oh, happy birthday, Mama. 79 years old. Your mama's so beautiful. So beautiful. So, Jackie, how did your mom end up at Calvary in the Bronx?
She was in Montefiore Hospital for at least a month. She ended up first of all, they want to send her to a home, and my baby sister said no. She says, no, I prefer Calvary. So a doctor did all the arrangement with my sister, and that's how we end up in Calvary.
And your mom, what was she facing? Was it cancer or Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer.
Alzheimer's, so like my mom. Jackie, so your mom was located on 4 South where Mama Eva's husband was, correct?
Yes, that's true.
And how long was she there for? What was the length of her journey?
I think she was there 2.5 months.
It was almost 3 months, would you say? About 3 months?
Yes.
You also ended up taking turns. Was it with your siblings, or were you primarily the person that was staying there with your mom?
I was a primary one staying there, except Saturdays and Sundays.
And can you share with us what that experience was like for you?
At the beginning, the first few days, I was scared. I was praying. I would cry. I never thought I was going to go through that. It was something that I never in a million years I would imagine. I thought my mother was going to walk out like nothing, because she was a strong woman. She didn't have nothing wrong with her. There was nothing wrong with her. She was perfectly in good health. All suddenly, she started forgetting things, getting mini strokes. And one thing led to the other. And once I got there, I had to face the reality that she was going to be there for a while. And she wasn't coming back home.
So in your mother's Alzheimer's journey, was it like, did you guys go through the different stages, or did it feel really fast where she got to the end stage?
It was really fast. It was really fast. Less than a year.
Less than a year. So you didn't have a lot of preparation before that?
No.
That's really, really difficult to navigate through. Jackie, when you went into Calvary, did you know at that time that people are usually given about 6 months or less to live, or did you know what you were entering?
I heard about Calvary, but I thought it was about cancer. And I didn't even know, I didn't even expect nothing what I went through.
So you thought for sure, like, okay, my mom doesn't have cancer, so she might be coming out of this.
Exactly.
When was the point that you realized that wasn't the case?
The second day she was there. We got there on a Friday, and Saturday, I noticed that we were not going back home.
Why? What was the indication?
She was intubated in Monty, and then... they gave us 24 hours. She made it through. She got up, she woke up. She looked around, and that was it. Like, after that, she never was herself ever again. She was just like a vegetable.
So she wasn't she was speaking before that, and then after she wasn't speaking much?
Yep.
how did you deal with that? Because there's a lot of audience, like listeners and audience people who would go, how does somebody deal with that? One minute your mother's this way, and you were very close with your mom. I remember you telling me the story of like passing her window, and you guys live close to each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
We live a building apart.
You lived a building apart. Did you see your mom every day?
Yes. She used to watch me through the window. Make sure that Jackie's going to work. Make sure Jackie's coming home.
God bless her.
I did not expect this. The second day I was there, that's when I said, wow, my mom's not coming back home. And I had to put my feet down to earth because I was still in that wonderland. Yeah, mommy's coming home. Mommy's going to, I got people praying for her. You know, God's going to do that miracle for me. You know, my mom been good. But the second day hit me and hit me hard. It was something that I never expected in a million years. But when I saw that she was just laying there, just like a vegetable, that's when it started hitting me and saying, Jackie, wake up. This is reality.
And did having your family members or your sister, were they accepting it, or did you work through that with each other?
I think my sister, because she was a paramedic, she already knew what was coming. And my brother was, I guess, he was getting prepared like me. But as a family, it was hard because, you know, we have arguments. No, that, you know, I'm tired. You should stay more days. At the beginning, it was horrible. We argued like crazy, but I wasn't working. So I decided, okay, what am I going to do at home? So I stayed with my mother.
I appreciate you saying that because, man, Jackie, didn't we see that across a lot of different family members? And that's the truth. It's like an emotional time. The person you love the most in this world, you don't know when they're going to take their last breath. Then people are trying to still work and maintain their own households and jobs. And we saw a lot of that where people would get into arguments and stop talking to each other, didn't we?
Yep, that's so true.
So I appreciate your authenticity, Jackie. And so you were the person who was sort of who became the primary person. How did we meet, Jackie? Was it downstairs in that meeting in the family center that day?
That's where we first met, yes.
And then after that, I think, did you come to visit my mom or I came to visit your mom? Because we were on 6 and Jackie's mother. Jackie, tell us your mother's beautiful name.
Alicia.
Alicia was on the 4 South, and my mother, Teresita, was on 6 South. So we were 2 floors above you guys.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
Yeah,
we had good times in the therapy.
Yes, tell us about that.
That's, I think for me, it was a good experience because for the first time I let go everything. You know, my sister went for the first section, I think it was. That's how we met. You and my sister clicked at the beginning. I mean, my sister was like, oh, I met Jessica. She's good. Her mother's upstairs. And I was like, okay. And I kept on. But then I don't know what happened that I took over. And ever since that, we kept on being friends. And that's one thing that kept me going, because being there alone is not fun.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I felt so thankful to meet you too, because you were the closest, out of everybody. You know, there were people who were older, or whatever, but like I felt age-wise, everything, we felt closer. And then you remind me a lot of my middle sister, Kathy, because she's very playful and, you know, always had that smile. And you always had those big bright eyes. And I thought, even when we were going through stuff, we always were able to figure out a smile or something somewhere. We would joke around somewhere. When you're walking through terminal illness, like, and you're in the room, it can get, let's explain what it feels like to be inside of the room, right? Like, what would that be like for you, Jackie?
For me, it was like I was choking and I couldn't get out. Like if I was drowning and there was nothing I could do. especially for my mother. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing in my hands. All I used to do was pray and say, God, bring her out of this. I know you could do it. I had to give up at the end.
Mm-hmm. And did that feel like it was you giving up, or like that's the reality of how you felt?
Yes.
Very honest. Thank you. Thank you. How many times did your mom go critical? Because our parents would go critical and come back.
3 times.
3 times for Alicia. The conversation came up like, is it bad to feel like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be over? Like a guilt, because of course you want your parent to be alive, but there's the reality that it gets so hard and you're scared and there's anxiety, and then you're like like you said, you're choking and you're helpless. And so do you remember that time when we had that conversation of like feeling like that's normal to feel like that? Like, when is this moment going to be over? It was just one time that it happened.
Yes. Yeah.
What was that like for you? Mm-hmm.
For me, it was like, okay, is it going to be over today or soon?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to react? How am I going to feel? And I think that day, that's when I say, well, I have to let her go soon.
We formed our own little kind of group almost and walked through that whole journey together. And when what people don't understand on the outside, like when I say on the outside, I mean our own family members that weren't able to be present for one reason or another, was that we became sort of each other's family. Like your family members came. Do you want to share what happened during that time? And they were wondering, who the heck is this girl?
My uncles came in, my cousins came in, and Jessica was cleaning my mother's face, her lips. I'm not sure if it's chapstick or you put Vaseline on her lips, but I remember that you fixed her hair, and they were taking on her IVs and everything. And you were like cleaning up with alcohol a little bit so she won't have that mark of the Band-Aids or nothing. Mm-hmm. And my uncle came in and said, who's this girl with a little attitude? And like, I just got there because remember, Jessica, that I went home. My mother passed away on a Sunday, and Saturday, that's when they told me this was it. And I came home like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I guess by 7 something in the morning, my mother passed away. I don't know. Don't ask me how I got there. I just know that my sister and her boyfriend called me. I flew over there. I don't know how, but I ended up being there like just a couple of minutes, and she was still warm. And then you came down, you were cleaning her, and my uncle came in and started like, and I was like, this girl been there for me like nobody else. And I don't remember exactly the other word I told him, but it was like when we hugged, that felt like a sister hugging another sister.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I always gonna remember, Jessica, that you gave me the biggest hug. And instead of my family hugging me, you were the first one to hug me.
Oh my God.
The first I never knew that. Me. Mm-hmm. You were the first one to hug me and told me, you know what? Things are going to be good to you from now on, Jackie. And you were right, Jessica. From the day my mom passed away until now, things look so good. We are sisters. Yeah, we are sisters from different mothers, but Calvary joined us together. I don't know if you remember Rosemary, the nurse.
Yes.
She was like, go with your friend, go take a walk. If anything, I'll call you, I'll text you. Don't worry. She's in good hands. And that was something that made me feel so good. Even though I used to buy cheap things, I didn't care. Even I remember that I bought a scarf for $2 in ABC, and I was like, yes, I bought something for myself. It's so good because I got out of the pain.
Yes. Yeah. I have
all those
to say,
walks, all those good walks. For me to go back inside Calvary, I can.
Yes.
It has to be somebody like I can walk in. I don't know. Maybe it's somebody that is real close to me, a family member. But just to go in there, I can.
What does that mean?
What
happens? It's the pain. Mm-hmm.
It's the last time I saw my mother. It's the last time I kissed my mother's forehead and I told her I love you.
Yes.
So ever since that, I can't go in there. I don't even pass around there. I try not to pass around there at all.
Yeah.
It's hard. And today that is her birthday, memories came to my mind, and I speak to her because I do. When I pass by her building every morning, I say, bendición, mami, I love you, I miss you, guide me and my daughter and my family. And I don't know if she's listening to me, but so far she's been guiding us. And I dream with my mother a lot, Jessica. I dream a lot with my mother.
Oh,
and wow. It's things that she tells me, I love you. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for looking out for the family. The last thing she told me was that there was going to be a new member to the family. And I just had a great niece last month, December.
That seems beautiful. If somebody said to you, Jackie, I'm facing terminal illness with my loved one, how do I get through this? What would you say?
Love them, hug them, tell them I love you, be there for them no matter what. Because you know what? After they're gone, if you were not there for them, you're going to have regrets, first of all. Second of all, if you were there, you're going to feel some peace inside. And life will turn around. And God will protect you, guide you, and will give you an amazing, amazing life. And that's what I'm experiencing now. My life is not perfect, but I do have beautiful memories. I've been through so much beautiful things these couple of years. And I can't complain. And I guess my mother has been there for me. If I had to do it over, I would do it over. There's nothing like a mother.
I know some people it's just really difficult. That's true. But others, it might just be they're letting the fear hold them from being present.
It is scary when you hear somebody crying and say, Ma, grandma, sister, brother. The person that passed away, you love them so much. But guess what? You get used to it. And for those few days, hours, months, or year, you get to appreciate life. And especially you appreciate the person that's there laying down. It's beautiful because you learn so much.
What is the biggest thing that you learned about yourself?
That I couldn't handle things.
I can handle things no matter what.
I thought that if my mom would pass away, I would go crazy. I would die after her. Like I used to say, if my mother passes away, my life is over. No. My mother has been with me since day one.
When you dream of your mother now, or you feel her presence, is it a crying thing, or do you feel like more joy? Like, has it shifted for you?
For me, when I dream with her or I feel her next to me, it's like she's guiding me. She's protecting me. She's with me. I feel her next to me. And I always tell her, thank you, Mommy, I love you. When I pass by her building, when I come back from work, I have to pass by her building. So I'll be like, Mommy, the day was beautiful. Thank you. Mom, I had a great day. Thank you. Love you. See you tomorrow. Like 6:00 in the morning, I'm walking to the bus stop. And that's me. Mommy, I love you. Hey, make sure that today I have a beautiful day, And that's the way I keep on.
I love that. So you really feel her presence strongly still in your life. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I guess the time we spent together, me and you, your mom and my mom, we spent that time. And it was something special. I mean, there's no words to it. There's no words. I just know that if I could, let's say, if God would tell me one wish, Jackie, ¿qué tú quieres? I'll be like, I want April 1st, 2013. Why? Because I spent time with my mother. I was able to kiss her and tell her every night, good night, Mommy. I love you. And I know that you would too. Even if it's for one day, that we could go back for one day and see the smile, see our parents looking at us.
Yep. We put pictures of them and how they looked when they were without illness, so that the staff would know this is my mom's energy, this is who she is. And and the staff would look at the pictures too, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, look at this hottie.
Yeah, like your mother. The first time I saw a picture of your mom, I was like, wow, que mujer. And I was like, no wonder Jessica is beautiful. And then the first time I never saw my mother naked. My mother used to se bañaba in her room, lock the room and everything. But there was one time that Rosemary asked me, Jackie, can you help me clean your mom? And I was like, okay, no problem. And I saw my mother. She didn't have no stretch marks. She didn't have no marks in her body. And I was like, wow.
And her skin,
what a beautiful skin she had. Yeah, it was something that I'll never forget. I was like, wow, this lady had 3 C-sections. She had a big, humongous butt. She had no stomach at all. And body, even though she was going down the hill, she still had a beautiful skin. I mean, her skin was so beautiful.
Yeah, your mama's skin was flawless. Our mommies are hotties. Our mommies are up there like, yes, keep talking.
100% Puerto Rican too. Yep.
As we start to close, Jackie, any last words of advice that you can give to the world today in honor of your gorgeous mama whose birthday is today? What did she teach you that you want to pay forward to the world?
First of all, love yourself no matter what. And if you have a mom that you love dearly and she's been there for you 100%, be there for her 100%, no matter what. No matter what. Family comes and goes, but your mother always stick for you. My message to everybody, love your mother no matter what. She's not perfect. We're not perfect. But one thing it is, her love for you, it is perfect. No matter who comes into your life or to her life, no matter what, the love, nobody can replace that.
A mother's love, when it's that pure and unconditional, is so irreplaceable.
Well, thank you, Jessica, for being my friend. You were the sister that I needed there, even though I have a humongous family. But at that time, that year, those months, those hours, those seconds, you were like the perfect person to be there with me.
I am just so thankful to have had you on. This is a very special episode that will remain in my heart. And now we get to share our story with others. God bless you, Jackie. Thank you so much. And I love you.
I love you too, Jessica.